Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Flawless 195. A big milestone today, flight 100 of 210. It's Windhoek to Cape Town. And after yesterday's, well, how do I even describe the aborted landing and successful, in quotation marks, landing yesterday. After yesterday's dramatic flight or dramatic landing attempts, I'm hoping for a smoother ride down to Cape Town, South Africa. So this is flight 100, Windhoek to Cape Town, in countries Namibia to South Africa. Departure time is going to be 1:30 p.m. local time. And we are heading directly south for a total flight time of about an hour and 35 minutes. So on the lengthier side when it comes to this Flawless 195 World Tour. So yeah, about an hour and a half or so. And like I say, hopefully it'll be a much smoother ride. Yesterday, the World Tour hung in the balance for a few minutes. I don't want to be coming that close to failure again. It was a madness. When I think back to it now, I think, what the hell was I doing? Even with that second, the thing is, I was under time pressure to get it down on that second attempt. I didn't really have time to go around again. So that's a lesson. I need to always have a bit more time in hand beyond the projected touchdown time. I need to have another 20 minutes beyond that, just in case, because you never know what you can be greeted with when you get there. But anyway, we got it down just about in the field there to the left-hand side. We got it down over there somewhere in that field. And here we are in Namibia. And we are getting out of here. Yeah, Windhoek, Namibia was almost the final destination of this world tour. Look at the hills and everything. And how narrow the runway is and stuff. So yeah, I think we're going to need every inch of the runway as well. It doesn't look like a particularly long one. So I'm going to go down to the far end, I think. I'm going to go work my way down to the far end there and use every inch of this runway to get up and take off in that direction and over those hills there. Yeah, I want to be taking off in the direction I'm facing now and clear those hills, and off we go. Not much of a communications tower, that is it. 2 stories up. Right, anyway, right, let's get this underway. I don't know what I'm going to do music-wise, video-wise, but we'll see. Once we get up there, we'll have a look at what we play, because obviously we've finished that documentary now, and an 3i Atlas documentary, which was good as well yesterday. Really highlighting just how unlikely it is, how close it's getting to the sun and everything, and how close it's getting to us is like 1 in a million, you know. So good documentary about that. Obviously, we had the last 3 or 4 flights have been that documentary about the messages that we've sent into space. I have my opinions about that. But anyway, let's get on with it. Flight 100. Wow, I can't believe we're here. And flight 99 was, yeah, it was nearly all over. But the world tour continues. Here we go then. Namibia to South Africa, an hour and 35 minutes, heading directly south and heading for Cape Town International Airport. I'll get the safety demo on now, get the plane set up, and hopefully a much more standard flight this afternoon. So anyway, get your seatbelts on, because you just never know on Flawless 195. Speak to you when necessary. Thank you.
Please pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions, including the following safety procedures. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and the brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin crew are now pointing out the exits nearest to you. Please be aware that your nearest usable exit may be behind you. Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit. In an emergency, leave all baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Hold the mask in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take a life jacket from under your seat. Remove from the pouch and put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist and click together. Pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate it by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into this tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. The cabin crew can assist you with life jackets for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrests down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. Further information regarding your safety on board can be found in the in-flight magazine. We hope you have a great flight.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. And the year 6009 will be the very first year since 1961 that a year, when written in Hindu-Arabic numerals, can be inverted and still look the same. But you and I probably won't live long enough to enjoy the year 6009. Human lives just aren't long enough. We will miss out on that. What other cool future events will we be missing? Well, first of all, you and I will probably be gone before the completion of the Time Pyramid in Windhoek, Germany. It will eventually be a pile of 120 concrete blocks, but the builders are only adding one block every 10 years. Since beginning in 1993, they've added only the first 3. At this rate, the pyramid will be completed in the year 3183, the final block placed by our great, more than 30 greats, grandchildren. But even they will miss an opportunity to frolic and play safely in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, the zone of alienation, where radioactive contamination from the 1986 disaster will remain at levels too high for safe human activity until not the year 4000, not the 5000s, not the 6000s. It will finally be safe probably in the year 22,000. Possibly within our lifetimes, but definitely within the next 1 million years, stars like Betelgeuse and Eta Carina will explode in brilliant supernovas visible from Earth. I'm bummed I'm probably going to miss out on these events because for a few weeks it will look almost as if Earth has 2 suns. Despite being hundreds, thousands of light years away, their supernovas will shine brighter than the full moon at night and be visible even during daytime. But the real sky show comes in 3.75 billion years. Our galaxy is full of stars. Viewed from the surface of the Earth, they look like little drops of milk in the sky, which is why we call it the Milky Way galaxy. But all galaxies are named after milk. Milk, lactose, lactic, galactic, galaxies. And every drop of milk in the sky, every star that you can see, is inside our galaxy, the Milky Way. But there's a blurry distant shape. This one, it's not a star, it's not a cloud of gas in our galaxy, it is an entirely different galaxy, the Andromeda Galaxy, and it's 2.5 million light years away from our own. It contains twice as many stars as the Milky Way, and it is coming our way, headed toward us at 300 kilometers a second, faster than a bullet. Now right now, the sky looks like this. In 2 billion years, Andromeda will have approached so closely that people will look up at the sky and see this. In 3.75 billion years, the night sky will be like a scene from a science fiction movie or an awesome desktop wallpaper. Incredible. And kind of scary. After this scene, the sky will literally be glowing with the birth of new stars as the Milky Way and Andromeda collide, mixing up into a brilliant cosmic tie-dye. This simulation shows how Andromeda might collide with the Milky Way, but keep in mind that you are watching billions of years pass every second. These galaxies are moving fast, but they're also huge and covering even huger distances. They will collide in the future, but within the briefness of a single human life, they appear almost frozen, unmoving. A couple billion years after colliding, the cores of both galaxies will be married together in a bright glowing center. Earth, now a stepchild to what was once Andromeda, part of a new, bigger family called Milkdromeda. It would be so cool to be alive to see our galaxy colliding with another. But don't get all FOMO, consumed by a fear of missing out. Because whatever life is around them will have plenty to envy us for. They may have spectacular nightly views, but secretly wish they'd been born in our time to experience, say, the beginning of the internet. They will actually miss out on a lot of things. Because the moon moves 1 centimeter further away from Earth every year, 600 million years from today, the moon will no longer be close enough to Earth to completely block out the sun. Future humans, or descendants of humans, will therefore miss out on a chance to ever see for themselves the beauty of a total solar eclipse from the surface of Earth.
Right, this is looking a very short runway. Right, hold on to your hats. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened. Cabin crew, seats for takeoff. I'm going to go full power before I take the parking brake off here. Yeah, this is a short and narrow runway as we experienced coming in. Now we're trying to get out of here. But yeah, let's do it. Namibia to South Africa. Windhoek to Cape Town is upon us. Let's go.
Long before Earth dries up, Niagara Falls will dry up. Well, not the water part, but the falls part. Every year, the rushing water of Niagara erodes the rock at the top of the falls 1 foot backward. By the year 52,000, it will have eroded all the way to Lake Erie, and our progeny will have no Niagara Falls to enjoy. Granite has an erosion rate of about 1 inch per 10,000 years. So certainly by the year 7 million, Mount Rushmore, especially its faces, will no longer exist. And because they slowly get pulled in or ejected into space, in 50 to 100 million years, Saturn will no longer have its lovely rings. So life on Earth in the future might have awesome supernovas and galactic collisions to look forward to, but they probably won't have Niagara Falls, Mount Rushmore, total solar eclipses, or Saturn's rings. They also won't have you. But you have you. Except not all of it. Babies don't begin to form episodic memories right away, meaning that you missed out on. You don't remember 2 of the most seminal events in your life, your conception and your birth. But you can experience a bit of those moments right now. First of all, when was I conceived.com lets you enter your birth date and get back the week your parents probably made you happen, as well as the #1 song and the #1 movie of that week, which may have also been involved. Light travels quickly, the most quickest in fact, but it can take a photon millions of years to escape from the interior of the star it was created in through nuclear fusion. It takes time, just like your own gestation in your mother's womb. Newly conceived photons struggle through a dense stellar jungle of atoms and molecules and electrons that absorb and re-emit the photon, taking a little bit of energy from it as it randomly rolls around like a pinball. Sometimes after thousands or millions of years, its random walk finally leads it to the star's surface, where it pops out into space, in a way, is born. A lucky tiny percentage of the photons that reach the surface of a star find themselves on a path that will intersect with Earth. And if you are lucky, those photons will end their journey by being absorbed onto your own retina. If you enter the date of your birth or the approximate date of your conception into this online calculator, you can find a star that is as many light years away from Earth as you are old. When you look up at that star today, you are seeing light that left the star the very month you were born, or photons that left that star and entered space when your entire body was just one cell. Space is really big, and your life is very short. But space is so gosh darn big, you don't have to miss out on everything. And as always, thanks for watching.
How's it going, everyone? Over the past few years, I like to think that I've changed a few perceptions on what it means to embark on an adventure with my simple but slightly mad backyard adventures, let's call them. But it dawned on me recently that my most important mission of all, which is to inspire people to leave their comfort zones and fall in love with nature, might not be as successful as I'd presumed. I mean, not everyone wants to almost drown in a peat bog, or get lost in a South London sewer, or wake up in a strange old lady's bed. So that begs the question, if I could recommend one adventure for your average person, something relatively cheap, short and danger-free, what would that be? And it didn't take me long to come up with my answer. Grab a tent, a sleeping bag and a few other bits, plot a route through your nearest national park and spend 3 screen-free days trekking through nature, finding great wild camp spots and wild swimming spots along the way, and maybe end at a warm, cozy pub. Now granted, that might not be super easy for some of you. I mean, if you live in the Midwest of America, on the plains, yeah, that's unfortunate. You're going to need to travel. You also might be unfit and have no camping equipment. But you'd be surprised how little you need by way of both of those things. And if you do live in the UK, specifically within driving distance of Snowdonia National Park, I'm hoping that by the end of this video, I'm gonna have convinced you that a couple of £100 at Go Outdoors and a few hours on the step machine is a very small price to pay for an adventure that could genuinely change your life for the better. Snowdonia National Park in North Wales is the perfect place for a jaunt like this. It's more rugged and wild and uniquely beautiful, I think, than anywhere else in England and Wales. It's got a certain mysticalness to it, an ancient Celtic folklore that lives on today through the Welsh language. Dramatic peaks rise above golden estuaries and fairy tale forests, and ancient stone walls sweep across the landscape. I may have filmed more adventures in North Wales than I'd have liked, but I would not think of filming this one anywhere else. The route, for once, isn't really important. 50 miles over 3 days seemed about right this time. Not too challenging, but definitely not easy either. Just right. You can do a circular route, but I've always preferred going from A to B so that it really feels like a journey. But apart from that, I'm just following these lovely green dotted lines on OS maps. I'll include a nice range of settings, a few rugged wild areas, a couple of peaks perhaps, and most importantly, some lovely deciduous forest. Because if there's one thing I like to get out of these hikes, it's great camp spots. Nothing beats sitting round a campfire, sipping tots of whiskey in your own little patch of ground miles from the nearest person. So I will put a bit of thought into where I think we'll end up each night, usually aiming for an oaky forest with a stream running through it for water. Okay, maybe I do put a bit more thought into these routes than I thought, but we're just looking at a map. It doesn't matter, it's all gonna feel new and fresh when you get there. In terms of gear, I'm really not an expert, to be honest. I mean, I have accumulated some pretty tidy bits of kit over the years, as you can imagine, some quite lightweight stuff. But honestly, you don't need anything too special, especially in the summer. And one final thing I want to stress to you before we delve into this adventure is please, and I'm going to sound like a brownie leader here, but please respect the land. Take your rubbish with you, just bring a bin bag, leave each place exactly how you found it, keep your campfire under control with stones and extinguish them thoroughly when you put them out. Just don't draw attention to yourself, and if you do that, then people can enjoy these beautiful lands with freedom, hopefully for years to come. Anyway, joining me around my well-structured campfire on this occasion is none other than our northern friend Ben Cook. And if there's one common theme to all of our adventures together, it's that we always seem to pick weekends with the most extreme weather imaginable. First it was the coldest day of the year, second it was the second coldest day of the year, third it was one of the windiest, and this time we picked the hottest weekend of 2025. Ready to go, mate?
Yeah, I've only just got out the car.
Is that sweat already? Yeah. It is roasting. How have we picked? What have we had? We've had the 2 coldest days of 2023.
Of my life.
Don't drink that, dude. Don't drink that, man.
Oh, it fizzed when I opened it.
That's from England, I think.
Man, that was like 18 months
18 months ago, yeah.
It smells.
Don't drink that, man. You'll be sick as a parrot. 7 hours of sunlight to do 10 miles to get to what I believe will be an amazing camp spot. We've got some pretty big hills to go up straight away.
Yeah.
We're going to be sweating our tits off. But yeah, should we get moving?
Yeah, let's go.
I look like a bloody clown in all these colours, don't I? I don't know why I don't think about it.
This looks like those, what's that Disney character called? The dog.
Goofy.
Goofy.
Cheers,
mate.
mate.
Like one of those Goofy hats.
Ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Adventure time. I'm so excited, are you?
I am, man.
Within seconds of setting off, we were already contemplating jumping into a river. But we stayed strong, crossed the last main road we would see for quite some time, and began our climb up into the mountains. This narrow country lane making way for this Dickensian looking horse and cart track, and into the inviting shelter of the oak trees that watched over it.
Very lovely and shaded at the moment. Difference in temperature.
But it didn't take long for the inevitable to happen.
Right, we're straight lining already. So predictable.
Thankfully, it was just a brief and dazzlingly beautiful shortcut back up to the path, where we'd already worked up quite the sweat.
Mate, I've already got sweat dripping down my face. Pouring down my eyes.
Our route then took us into the site of an old 19th century gold mine, whose ruined buildings and infrastructure were still clearly visible in and among the nature.
I think this is an old, like, cart track to go up to the gold mine. I was about to say, you can imagine a little mining cart running down this.
At the top of this track, up on a grassy plateau, was what felt like the main buildings for the mine, which we briefly explored, but a bit further on from this, indications that some of the paths that made up our route might not be very well trodden.
You're having a laugh. You're joking, we've got to go up here? I think it's that way. Yeah.
On this occasion, the ferns parted fairly quickly.
Oh, look at this mystical place, man. Already. With the sun dancing right off of it, just nice. Oh, look at that.
Stocking up while we can. But that wasn't the last we'd be seeing of the overgrown path.
Go on, son. That's it. Brave boy. Go on, good boy. Brave boy. Or girl, rather.
Appearing on the horizon now were the Rhinog Mountains, which the previous year, in comical fashion, had actually defeated me and Ben, sending us packing back to Birmingham for some urban exploration instead. To be fair, it was more of a combination of terrible weather and an overly ambitious route over the mountains, but either way, we needed to make sure that that didn't happen again. We thought we'd given ourselves plenty of time to do so, but these remote paths were about to take a serious turn for the worse.
Path is completely flooded, unfortunately.
Step across there, was it?
Yeah, that's not too... Oh, fuck. Oh, I've gone right in. Oh, shite. Yeah, that's it. That's the end. Oh, no, there's more. Oh, no. This is crazy, mate.
After walking down an actual stream for 5 minutes, the water finally cleared, only for the ferns to return.
So it's not up there?
Not up there, it's...
Oh, it's happened.
And this time, they went on for ages.
Battling through the ferns here, man. We are on a path, apparently, but it's an overgrown one. Be lucky if we don't have ticks coming out of our eyeballs.
I'm not really sure where they expect us to go.
I know. Gotta have some food and drink though, man.
Yeah.
My legs are red raw, man.
You might be thinking, this looks horrendous, Tom. Why would I want to subject myself to this? Don't worry, you don't have to.
What are you doing? Guys, where to start? It's an easy one, no? Hands off, all as we can. I think it would be wrong to forget how hard it is to win. And you guys know it very well. It was a masterclass what you guys have done in Austin. I don't think we should change anything to what we are doing. We press the reset button again. It's maximum focus again.
Look at that, it looks like we're flying over Mars. Wow. Inverted colours for the win, innit? I'm messing about, obviously. Yeah, no, that's the one, that's the one. Right, what are we having on? What are we having on? What are we having on? Oh, let's put a Lemino video on.
From the primordial cloud of gas and cosmic dust, gravity forged the stars. Gravity connects star systems together in vast galaxies and steers them on their journey through unbounded space. The relentless flow of time has driven the evolution of the universe and created extraordinary wonders. Some galaxies form so close together that they're locked in a gravitational embrace. What a magnificent sight it would be.
This is Melody Sheep, and to me, it's the music more than anything. Melody Sheep music. Oh, come on.
As it evolves, the universe passes through distinct eras. Vast ages whose beginnings and endings are marked by unique milestones. The births and deaths of its wonders.
We are the product of a grand evolutionary sequence, cosmic evolution, about which we are only occasionally aware.
Gravity is the great creator, the constructor of worlds. But gravity is also the destroyer, because it's relentless. When a star around 15 times the mass of our sun collapses, all the matter in its core is crushed into an infinite void of blackness known as a stellar mass black hole. The immense gravitational pull of these monsters can rip a star apart. They tear matter from its surface and drag it into orbit. This superheated matter spins around the mouth of the black hole, and great jets of radiation fire from the core. Although these jets can be seen across the cosmos, the core itself remains a mystery. Not even light can escape, so their interior is forever hidden from us. Throughout a star's life, there is a constant battle between energy pushing out and gravity pushing in. When it runs out of fuel, the star collapses and then explodes with the brightness of 1 billion suns. As the star is torn apart, it will fire out into space all the elements that it created in its life and death. These are new stars forming from the elements blown out by supernova explosions. New stars being born from the remains of dead ones. And it's from this universal process of death and rebirth that we emerged. Because it was in a nebula just like this, 5 billion years ago, that our sun was formed. Clouds of hydrogen collapse further and further under the force of gravity, and the life cycle of a new star has begun. A star was born that would come to be known as the Sun. Around it, a network of planets formed. Among them was the Earth. Debris left over from the formation of the solar system collides with the Earth. Earth began life as a molten hell.
The early continents were still forming. The land was dominated by volcanoes, hostile and lifeless. But deep in the oceans, life had begun. The latest theory is that chemicals spewing from underwater volcanic vents solidified and created the conditions needed for the first cells to form. For some 3 billion years, simple microscopic organisms were the most advanced form of life on the planet. Cyanobacteria and other oxygen-producing microbes began to bloom. These flourished in colonies of plant-like microbes that pumped out enormous volumes of oxygen. And it was this increase in oxygen that was the key to the rise of the animal kingdom.
Organisms started using oxygen to respire, yielding a lot more energy, which allowed the development of more complex life.
Just before complex life appeared, the world was in the grip of the biggest ice age in its entire history. And then suddenly, advanced organisms appeared.
As primeval man watched the moon in the night sky, it became to him an object of curiosity. In legend, he tells the story of an old man who, while digging, discovered a small shiny object. As he held it in his hands, it grew and grew, and finally escaped into the sky to become a moon. This is the moon that saw life begin on Earth millions of years ago.
Stones from across the night.
By making ourselves very small, perhaps we will see what these rocks have seen, and remember back those billions of years.
Over decades now, geochemists have been measuring lunar samples and Earth samples and found that the chemical signatures of the two are identical in a very special way, and that the elemental isotopes of the two bodies are identical. theory can explain so many things about the moon, but it has a huge flaw. It predicts that the moon is mostly made from the Mars-sized planet, that the Earth and the moon are made from different materials. But that's not what we see. The Earth and the moon are actually like identical twins. The genetic code of planets is written in the isotopes of the elements. The Earth and moon have identical isotopes. That means that the Earth and moon are made from the same materials. What do you do when faced with the unknown? Question everything. We were making the mistake of thinking that a planet was always going to look like a planet. The giant impact was making something completely new. From the impact vaporizes the surface, the water, the atmosphere, and mixes all of the gases together in just a few hours. The Earth would have been like Jupiter. There's nothing to stand on. A synestia gives us a new way to solve the problem of the origin of the moon. The moon grew from magma rain that condensed out of the rock vapor. The moon could have orbited inside the synestia for years, hidden from view, revealed by the synestia cooling and shrinking inside of its orbit. The synestia turns into Earth only after cooling for hundreds of years longer. The moon's special connection to Earth is because the moon formed inside the Earth when Earth was a synestia. Synestias have been created throughout the universe. We only just realize that by finding them in our imagination. else am I missing? What is hidden from my view by my own assumptions?
"66 million years ago, the worst day in the history of life.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the White Man
the White Van Man column in the Sun, Carl.
seen it,
Are you
yeah.
familiar with this? This is where every day in the Sun they interview a guy who drives a white van, just, you know, in order to get the kind of voice of the man on the street in the paper. And he has to answer, or just give his opinions, really, on events that have made the news each week. Just thought we could maybe throw some of these at you, Carl.
Go on.
Because we know to see what your views are.
Yeah.
So, just the first thing that comes to your mind, the sort of your initial reaction to each of these.
Top all these, but you don't need to know about them. It's just your philosophy on it.
Yeah,
so
just your views.
You know, yeah.
I have had a few days off this week, remember, so I don't know what's going on in the world.
Yeah, I mean, you stayed in London, though, didn't you?
Yeah,
you didn't bury yourself, did you?
I normally see the news, but I didn't.
Okay. So, what was your view on Will Young beating Gareth Gates in the final of Pop Idol?
Don't like him.
No?
You know what I was thinking about when I was watching it all the way through?
Yeah.
How he looks like he's got a wire coat hanger in his gob. That sort of...
Right.
Again, it's radio, Carl.
Radio.
It's a great face.
It's a funny face you're pulling.
Yeah, and, you know, but, you know, a radio.
And that's a problem for you, is it?
And just the way he's from a really rich family. I opened up the paper on the Monday or something, and it had like, oh, he went to a posh school and he's got loads of money already.
Yeah.
It's just a bit...
Okay. Right, now, what's the second question?
There have been huge rises in street crime, especially muggings and carjackings. What's your view there?
More youth clubs are needed, aren't there?
You think more youth clubs?
I like that.
No? Okay.
I like that because it's so 1950s.
Yeah.
It's sort of like you want a Bobby on the beat that'll clip you around the ear.
So once they've come out of national service...
Yeah! No, I love that. And if you find someone smoking a wood bomb, you make them smoke 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is great. That is great.
Did you used to go to youth clubs?
Yeah.
And they kept you out of trouble?
You used to get into a fight afterwards when you came out.
But for...
Valley. There are corners of our world that seem to resist us. Remote islands no one has ever touched. Their coastlines too jagged, their wildlife too lethal. Places where the air sears your lungs and the ground splits beneath your feet, as if the land itself is warning you away. Bunkers buried under decades of silence, sealed so tightly the air inside hasn't shifted in a generation. Even the maps keep their distance. These are the edges of the world, where the nearest living soul might be thousands of miles away. No welcome signs, no footprints, just wind, stone, and an uneasy stillness. Some are stamped restricted in military ink. Others are left alone because getting there is nearly impossible. Boreholes that vanish into the earth with no known end. Government bunkers built to survive global collapse. Valleys where uncontacted tribes live in silence. An island so dangerous that setting
I'll be back
foot
in a
on
minute.
land
Hang
would
on.
mean never
Hang
leaving.
on. Just hang on a minute. Because we're starting the descent in about, I don't know, 5 minutes or something. Alright, one sec. Let's go. Floss 195, flight 100, descending into Cape Town, South Africa. Come on. I can't believe we are reaching this milestone, 100 flights. There's been some near misses, not least flight 99 yesterday. There's been some scares along the way, but flight 100. And we are on the descent into Cape Town, the southernmost tip of South Africa. Come on. The African leg is 3/4 done. Been to countries that I've never even heard of before. Flight 100, and we are still in one piece. The plane is undamaged. We are alive. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. This world tour is on. Almost at the halfway point now. Look at how green it is coming in as well. I mean, I know everybody already knew this, but wow, a lot of Africa, barren wasteland. But look at this greenery coming in. I can't believe it. Sea level as well. So we're going to be, yeah, I think we're about 6,000 or 7,000 feet altitude. Because it literally took off and we were at like 6,000 or 7,000 feet in Namibia, but we've come all the way down to like sea level. What's this? No, not for me, mate. But yeah, look how green it is. This is a surprise to me, to be honest. I mean, who would guess if you just saw a screenshot of this now? How many people are saying South Africa? Not many. If you saw this screenshot right now, how many are going South Africa? Not many. I'm really surprised how green it is, whether it's a time of year or what. Are we in the southern hemisphere here? Because is this summer? Are we in the southern hemisphere here? Let me have a look. Or am I being an idiot? Are we in the southern hemisphere now? Yeah, we are. Yeah. Well, we have been for quite some time. We have been since the last like 5 flights or so. Since we got to Kinshasa and Brazzaville, then we're in the southern hemisphere. So yeah, we're coming up to like middle of summer. Looking green. I can't believe it, actually. Fair play. Flight 100, baby. We are here. The world tour continues. Look at how clear it is as well. Going to be no visibility issues coming in today. Should be nice and simple coming into land as well. Which after yesterday's debacle, I'm very grateful for. Should be a nice, easy descent and in. We haven't got ILS, but it shouldn't be a problem, especially with this kind of visibility. It is clear as you like. Not a cloud in the sky. It's going to be beautiful. Flight 100. Can you believe it? Did I think I would get 100 flights in? Well, not after yesterday, no. I thought flight 99 was about it. Was all she wrote. But here we are cruising in. 17,000 feet now above the ground. About 45 miles out from the runway. Come on. Beautiful. This is what it's all about. Let's get it. This song is called We're Finally Landing. Come on. Actually, you know what? When I looked on the weather map, it did say it was windy, actually. It did say it was windy, so we are going to be blown around a bit. I am going to need concentration for this. Okay, time to lock in. Time to lock in. We are on final descent into Cape Town International. Right, where's the runway? Oh, I can see it there. Right, I need to come out of autopilot then, don't I? Is this the runway right here? Alright, we're going slow enough. I can make a deviation now. Let's get autopilot off. 2,500 apparently. Right, let's not have another episode like Namibia. Let's Let's get lined up nice and early. Let's get over here. Yeah, don't worry about 4,500 feet. We're coming into land. I don't know. ATC. I mean, they just get ignored, don't they? ATC are on a different wavelength. It did say it was windy. I can feel we're getting blown around here. Yeah, it did warn me it's going to be windy, but we're going to get lined up nice. We're going to get lined up nice. Now the speed is stable. Landing gear out. We're at full flaps. Just gonna come over here, and it's all gonna be fine. But yeah, we are being blown around. But yeah, like I say, when I always, before the flight, I always check what the weather is at the destination, and it did say what is it, 26 degrees, but it did say it was windy, and I am experiencing that. Oh my god. Yeah, it's a windy touchdown. Hopefully we don't get blown around too much when we're a few feet off the ground, but yeah, trying to get it lined up now. Okay. This looks okay. Never mind, maintain 3,000 feet. I'm about 500 feet, just about to touch down, you moves. Right. Okay. Yeah, we could do with the wind subsiding a bit now. We're alright, we're not got a major like crosswind. We are being blown around a bit, but we're not having to crab in at a mad angle. We're lined up pretty well now. We'll have to line straighten up a little bit. Why don't we try and do that now? Let's try and straighten up a bit now. This is looking pretty good. Right, okay. We're going to need every inch of the runway here. Just, oh, Jesus Christ. Wow, that was it. Well, that was in slow motion. We landed at 117 knots. Wow. That was, wow, that wasn't the easiest. That was not the easiest. I'm on full rudder to the right just to keep it in a straight line. Wow, it was windy. It is windy. Wow, we got it down. But wow, that was almost it. Was that slow by the time we touched down? Grief. Wow, yeah, there was a few movements going on there. A few feet above the runway, which was not ideal, but let's get off. Flight 100. This is a taxi on, isn't it, rather than a taxi off, but I don't play by those rules. Wow, flight 100 is complete. We are down on the ground in some fashion. Yeah, it wasn't the textbook touchdown that I was hoping for, but the wind was a bit. It was blustery. It's blustery. Look at the scenery here. Yeah, it was blustery coming in, so the aim was to stay alive, and that's exactly what we've done. The plane's in one piece. We are down in Cape Town International, South Africa. We are near enough at the southernmost tip of the African continent now, before winding our way back round to the east. We're heading sort of northeast in the next few flights from here. Right, where are we parking her up? Are we going next to this one? Got a little twin there going on. No, let's just go to the left here. I'm not going to try and squeeze in there. We'll park to the left here. I've got me bay. I know where I'm going and I know what I'm doing. Well, it's a proper airport, proper international airport. Few and far between in the African leg of this world tour. Look at the scenery. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. That will do us. That will do us nicely. Cape Town International. We have arrived. Flawless 195 has arrived. You can take your seatbelts off. We can have a look. What did it say? An hour and 35 minutes was projected. What's the reality? Oh, there you go. 2 seconds faster. That's how we roll on Flawless 195. 2 seconds early. Well, it was accurate, wasn't it? An hour and 35. And there we go. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, it wasn't a textbook landing by any means, but it was a bit of a challenge. Thank God we had the good visibility. And the wind wasn't... I think it felt more like a headwind rather than a sort of a crosswind from any side. It was a headwind because we were so slow. By the time I cut the engines over the runway, it was definitely a headwind coming in there. So by the time we touched down, it felt like we weren't even moving. Really bizarre, one of a kind. But we are down in slightly safer fashion than yesterday. And there we go. We've had a mix of documentaries, travel stuff. I mean, I was watching that Geo Wizard doing Snowdonia, but is it a life-changing video, that? No, like just him and his mate walking through Snowdonia National Park. I didn't fancy an hour of that, to be honest, but we moved on. We've had some science documentaries and this, that and the other. And a bit of music at the end. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please do drop me a like. I'll be back for the connecting flight to Maseru, Lesotho. Lesotho and Eswatini, the next two countries, are landlocked within South Africa. I don't know the specific term of a country within a country, but that's what the next two are. Lesotho and Eswatini are countries within countries, so within the confines, if you like, of South Africa. Listen, I'm not up to scratch on exactly how that is sort of called, but let's just say landlocked by South Africa, the next two. So join me for those. I don't think they'll be anywhere near the length of this hour and a half kind of length. I think we're looking at 3/4 an hour or an hour or something to the next one. But yeah, there you go. An hour and 34 minutes and 58 seconds from Namibia to South Africa, from Windhoek to Cape Town. Thank you very much for joining. We are down the ground safe. Join me for flight 101. 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, flight 100. A massive milestone. And we are on the cusp of the halfway point. And the big one in the Daha TBM over to the Seychelles is on the horizon now. Already getting nervous about that 6-hour round trip from northern Madagascar to the Seychelles and back. Yeah. If I can't even land an Airbus A320 in Namibia, it's going to be a struggle to land on a field with a load of trees and bushes on the Seychelles in a tiny aircraft. But we'll tackle that in the next couple of weeks. But that is all from me. That is all from Flawless 195 today. Thank you. Hope you've enjoyed it. Smash the like. Get the notifications on for flight 101 to Maseru, Lesotho. And you know the game. The world tour continues. Let's go. Flight 100 in the book. See you next time.